This is Deters, the Bulldog, Real Talk 1160, doing our show live from Graeter's on Fountain Square on this historical day, which of course is opening day in Cincinnati. And with me today, what's your name again, Mr. Intern Dude?
I'm Jeremy.
All right, we got Jeremy here. We got the videographer here. I don't think the people that work at Graeter's realize how loud my voice is to you guys. See, they're smiling. They're like, who is this guy in the corner of our restaurant here? And by the way, speaking of Graeter's, I thought Graeter's was only ice cream. They got candy, they got Easter baskets for Easter, they got donuts, they got baked goods, they even got frozen drinks. Graeter's, it's just not ice cream anymore. I mean, my good, they're taking on everybody. They're a bakery, they're a candy shop, and they got ice cream. Have you ever had ice cream, Jeremy, for breakfast?
I'd love to.
I've had ice cream for breakfast. There's nothing better than ice cream, other than a donut, which I've eaten here. But anyway, this is opening day, and we're down here at Fountain Square, and the Reds are playing the Marlins today at 4:05 p.m. at Great American Ballpark. The game is going to be covered on Fox Sports Ohio, ESPN2. And let me tell you something. For the first time ever coming in to come to Real Talk 1160, there was absolutely no traffic on the interstate. I mean, absolutely no traffic on the interstate. There's no traffic downtown. I can tell you right now, this is a holiday in Cincinnati. Nobody's going to work. The office buildings are going to be empty until probably about 4 o'clock. The office buildings will still be empty, but everybody will be at Great American Ballpark. People are calling it sick to watch this game on television at home. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Every morning before 7 o'clock, I-75 North is packed. It's traffic jam city. I know because I go in. It was smooth sailing today, and I thought to myself, people are already calling in sick and staying at home. But let's go through what's going to happen today. Johnny Graeter is the Reds pitcher on the mound today. Last year he was 9-5, 2.31 ERA. He was outstanding, and he's the Reds opening day pitcher. And the Reds batting order. We already know what the Reds batting order. It's Brandon Phillips. And by the way, I want to pause right there. Yesterday, the Reds announced the signing. They had a press conference that they signed Joey Votto to only a $225 million extension. Jeremy, do you think you will earn in your lifetime $225 million?
I wish.
I'm planning on it some way, somehow. But anyway, the bottom line is Joey Votto is getting $20 million a year to play baseball. And Bob Castellini, who I think is awesome, Bob Castellini, right off the bat, before they even could ask the question, said, we are still going to be able to do something relative to Brandon Phillips. This does not obstruct in any way, shape, or form signing Brandon Phillips. I think that's a message that they intend on signing Brandon Phillips as well. So the Cincinnati Reds, led by Bob Castellini and the Williams brothers, who own the team, these guys are committed to Cincinnati. They're committed to winning. And I said this 2 years ago when we made the playoffs with the Cincinnati Reds. What's awesome about the ownership about the Reds is they considered a public trust for our city. They really do. They considered a public trust for our city. And they care about the fans, they care about the city of Cincinnati, and they want a winner. I mean, they're competitive. They're not going to just sit back, see if they're going to make money. In fact, they're probably losing money, but they want to win. So Brandon Phillips will get signed, I predict. Zach Cozart, the shortstop, and he started out last year hot as a firecracker, gets hurt, but he's back, and he's our starting shortstop, and he's batting second. Joey Votto, the $225 million man. Scott Rowland, can you mention the teasing that Joey Votto is getting in the clubhouse today? I imagine he's getting a little bit of teasing. People are probably asking him for loans. Heck, we ought to go ask him for a loan, Jeremy. I mean, come on, Joe. Hey, Joey, got to have a couple $100,000. It's nothing. $20 million a year. Everybody's going to be hitting up Joey Votto. By the way, did you see the press conference, Jeremy?
I saw some of it. And
did you see his girlfriend?
I did not.
$20 million. She's sitting there thinking, I'm hanging on to this guy. All right, Scott Rowland's at third base. Let's hope he stays healthy. He had surgery, and I think the fact that he had surgery is a smart move. And if Scott Rowland is healthy this year, look out. Jay Bruce in right field. Ryan Ludwig, the new kid on the block, is in left field. Let's hope we have a left fielder with some production. Drew Stubbs at center field. Ryan Hannigan catching. And, of course, Dusty Baker is our manager. But the Cincinnati Reds opening day is always a treat. It's a big day in Cincinnati. It's a holiday in Cincinnati. And today, April 5th, is also a big day in my personal life in the fact that it's my daughter's, Charlie Ann, who's 22, her birthday today. So a happy birthday to my daughter, Charlie Ann. Also, we're going to have Buckeye Mike. He says he's going to call in. I'm sure that he's upset about Sullinger going to the NBA. And by the way, Buckeye Mike, since I know you're listening, will Sullinger go, and I just got to ask you a question. Will Sullinger go in the first round? There's too many UK Wildcats being drafted that I don't know if Sullinger will make it in the first round. Let me see. It's going to be Davis picked first, Gilchrist picked second, Jones picked third, Teague picked fourth, Lamb picked fifth, Darius Miller picked sixth. And by the way, all you UK fans, you ought to love this comment. John Calipari, when asked about, going to the NBA, he said Kentucky is the best coaching job in basketball. In addition to saying that, he said they're chasing UCLA. UCLA with their 11 national championship. How cool would it be that if we could have Anthony Davis for 40 years, like John Wooden had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, followed by Bill Walton for 4 years? We could win 11 championships pretty quick. But we've got 8, and they're going for more. This day in history, speaking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, in 1984, he actually broke Wilt Chamberlain's all-time scoring record of 31,419 points. Also, I picked out a great baseball quote for today, since it is opening day. Baseball was, is, and always be to me the best game in the world. Babe Ruth. I actually disagree with that. I think football's the greatest game. But for today, it's baseball's the best. Baseball's a slow-paced game. I like the action of football. Baseball is cerebral. It's like that George Carlin comedy clip that he does about the difference between baseball and football. Pretty good stuff there. Want to go ahead and go through our, let me see, very good news today, folks. Very good news in the fact that today I have no military deaths to report. None. No military deaths to report in Afghanistan or Iraq. And although it's opening day, and we're going to talk a lot of baseball, we're still going to do the regular go through the news and all the fun stuff that happens in the world, including pop culture. For example, Madonna, her new album, MDNA, sold 359,000 albums in the first week to debut #1 for an 8th time, one short of Barbra Streisand. Who the heck is buying Madonna's album? I guess Madonna fans, not me. The son of Paul McCartney is hoping to join the sons of John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr to create a second coming of the Beatles. That's not going to go very well. The coroner report in Whitney, Houston, says that she died in 12 inches of extremely hot water. They found cocaine all over the room, and apparently her assistant, who found her upside down in the bathtub. But then when they came, she was outside the bathtub. Kind of like a Ryan. Here we go again, Ryan Whitmer story. In local news, Sheila Calrino is being replaced after a report dubbed her as bullying and demeaning. She was the public defender. The report also said the office had lawyers who lacked the basic tools to succeed. Also in local news, Nate Torp's Garden Center in Florence, which was a really nice place to buy some plants. Jeremy, have you gone to Nate Torp's to buy some plants?
Can't say that I have.
It's a good place to buy some plants. It's closing after 20 years. And Kayla Hallen of Hebron, she is going to be in a new movie coming out that was filmed here in Goshen Township starring Val Kilmer called 7 Below. Jeremy, have you ever starred in a movie?
I wish I had.
Well, what the heck have you been doing? You haven't done anything with your life. How old are you?
I am 23.
You're young, so you still got plenty of time to do some things. Record show former Agriculture Commissioner Richie Farmer received hotel reward points after hosting a convention at the Marriott Griffin Gate in Lexington. I tell you what, Richie Farmer's going to get indicted. You just watch. And then in Ohio, Governor John Kasich finally got Kevin DeWine to announce his resignation Wednesday as chairman of the Ohio Republican Party. DeWine, 44, sent a letter to the 66 members of the GOP State Central Committee saying he will step down when the party's governing body meets to reorganize on April 13th. Also, I got to announce that we are, in fact, going to be in the parade today. The black truck is ready to rock and roll. We'll have it filled up. I thought I was going to be able to fill it up with candy, but I understand you can't toss candy, so there'll be no candy. We'll have to figure out something else to give out. Maybe we can, I wanted to throw money. I figure if we threw money to the crowd, that would get me more clients. But I understand that we're not allowed to throw money, so we can't throw money either. So we got to figure out something to do. And also, if you come down to Graeter's this morning and see me, you're going to get a free Bulldogs Mafia long sleeve black T-shirt, courtesy of yours truly, and a really nice T. The whole gang's showing up now. Chuck, TC. What are you, TC? If you're here, who's there? Who's taking care of it?
Let the gerbils run things.
The gerbils are running things, TC says. All right, we come back. We'll have more radio superbity right here on Real Talk 1160. By the way, I always get in trouble when I comment about these things, but you know me, I'll get in trouble anyway. Doing a remote broadcast, you get somebody sitting here, you're back. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to start talking right now? It's really so smooth. You know what Dan just said? Dan just said, you're back. Okay, thanks, Dan.
We're live. Now back to the Bulldog.
Joining me now is TC, whose story's behind the glass. And you know, you're gonna hear me say this. You know, whose idea was this? Was it yours? It was yours, TC, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was that intern's idea.
It was the intern's idea. Let's fire that intern. Well, what do you think? What do you got today? You've got some stuff on a piece of paper in front of you, TC. Are there some important things that you have to announce?
Bill O'Reilly's talking points coming up at 7:28 this morning.
We like that.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly. Then coming up at 8:30.
I used to play hockey with Bill O'Reilly.
Did you really?
No.
See, that only lost his teeth. At 8:30 this morning, we've got the Huckabee Report with Mike Huckabee. He's got a show that's going to be debuting, airing pretty soon, and there's a good chance we could get him on for an interview.
Well, that would be awful nice. I'd like to interview Mike Huckabee. I would like to interview Mike Huckabee and say, I want some dirt on Bill and Hillary Clinton when they were in Arkansas, and you were there too. He's got to know some dirt
He's got some
on the Clintons.
On the, what was it, the Whitewater?
Little Rock, Whitewater, yeah, Whitewater cakes or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Documents destroyed. Documents destroyed.
You know, there's really no other news going on other than the fact that it's opening day.
It is a great day to be a Reds baseball fan. And it's a great day to be Joey Votto. He agreed to a $251 million, 12-year deal with the Reds. Longest guaranteed contract in Major League history. Now, what if he breaks his ankle today?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
And how about the Marlins? The Marlins lose in their new ballpark. Now, don't we play the Marlins today?
Yes.
Now, how funny is that? They play their first game in their new stadium, their $1 billion park, and then they come up here. I mean, that's got. And by the way, the Cardinals beat them last night. Then they got to get on a plane and come here to lose again. I mean, the Marlins are starting off bad this year, TC.
Yeah, they are. They're there, but that's all right. That's all right. We don't care about them.
You try to cheer me up by saying that Calipari is still, or the UK is still the national champions.
That's right.
Did you hear what Calipari said? He said, Kentucky's the best job in basketball coaching. Why would I leave? We just won the national title. We're chasing UCLA.
Nice.
How cool is that?
He's coming back.
He's going recruiting Friday. The number 1, the number 2, the number 6, and the number 7 recruits are in his sights. Let's hope he can get them. Let me see. What else do we have in news? Sports. How about this? Orlando Magic Dwight Howard wants his coach fired. You know, wouldn't it be great that you're that big of a guy that you could sit like, how about if we wanted Schloy fired? You know,
Yeah, we're gonna fire the boss.
We want to fire the boss. We say we want the boss fired, and they fire the boss. That doesn't usually work except in pro sports, does it?
No, I mean, how big do you have
To say, I want my boss fired.
Right. Not that we do. We love our boss.
TC, are you going to the game today?
Yes, I'm planning on going to the game. Now, there's a caveat to that.
What's the caveat?
Well, I got to find my sister. She has the tickets.
What if you don't find your sister?
Then I'll just be like everybody else and just wait and bubble off with a scalper at maybe the third inning.
Speaking of this, I think we are going to have a special guest show up, a good buddy of mine, who called me last night to tell me that he has 2 tickets. And this guy is like a pretty big deal in town, all right?
Pete Rose?
Not Pete Rose, but anyway, he says his tickets are in great location.
Yeah.
And he is bringing me his tickets. So I wasn't planning on going, but now I think I am. and I apparently have 2 tickets being hand-delivered to me today. Because I'm doing this show, I'm going to be in the parade. Now I think I'm actually going to go to the baseball game as well.
There you go. Because we are doing the parade. We're going to be in the parade.
Are you going to be in the parade too with me?
Yes, yes.
I love it.
You know, I never get out of the studio. Here's what I found out. TC, you get to be in the parade. Do I get to ride in the truck? No. Carry the banner, TC.
No, that's not true. We got trucks that carry the banner.
Oh, really?
You and I are going to be in the truck. But listen, I walked this route last week with whiskey, or last year with whiskey, and I felt like an animal cruelty for I'm surprised they didn't file charges because I publicly announced that the little paw, the pads on whiskey's feet, one got a little sore on it. But we get to ride in the back of this truck. We don't even need to walk this route. We can eat Graeter's donuts and chocolate and get fat like the rest of America without having to walk in the parade, TC.
I like that. Sounds good to me.
So we'll be, now I don't know who's going to be driving the truck. Should we let Molly, Brad, or Jeremy drive the truck?
Whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey drive the truck. But anyway, the parade starts at Finley Market at 1 o'clock. It's always a, last year was the first time I was ever in the parade. And I'm telling you right now, I cannot believe the crowd that are gathered. And on the way in here, CC, there's no traffic. Nobody's in these office buildings down here. Nobody.
You're right.
The only people in Fountain Square are the people in the Graeters right now.
A lot of police officers blocking off streets. And that's, the last time I was in the parade was 1990 when they went wire to wire.
Do you have any special memories of opening day?
I do. I have 2 special memories of opening day. One very good, one not so good.
Tell us.
First time I was a sophomore in high school. Went to opening day. It was the only day my parents were letting me skip school. It was that important, We get down.
Opening day is a good excuse to skip school.
That was it. We came down. It was beautiful, sunshine, 75, and the Reds won. That was. I mean, it was just.
That's good.
It was a perfect day.
That's good.
A perfect day. The next year, it rained. It was cold.
Delays, rain delays,
and I was unhappy.
My memory of opening day was really the same as every opening day when I was a kid. My dad used to give me tickets, and we used to have a bunch of tickets. Like sometimes I had as many as 10 tickets.
Right.
And my buddies at Latin School and I would leave school early and walk from Latin School on 11th Street in Covington across the suspension bridge to Riverfront Stadium and enjoy the game. And I remember a couple of those days. It was a blast. I mean, you're 13, 14 years old with a bunch of your buddies, and we're sneaking down the blue seats. Remember, that was a big thing as a kid. Is you get the red seat tickets, and then you sneak down the usher. Like, you had some old geezer usher sitting there, and you'd say, somebody would distract him, and everybody would run by him,
We'd have one.
By the way, I say that old geezer affectionately. I'm going to be an old geezer one day, too. But anyway, bottom line is, you remember those ushers were all old guys.
Yeah.
They were all old guys. And sometimes but some of them were mean, man. They knew that you were trying to sneak, man. It was kind of like a little middle game to play. But there was nothing like sneaking down to the blue seats.
Right. You're right.
Sneaking down the blue seats. More news to cover. We're going to cover all the news as we talk about the Reds, too. The Mega Millions winner in Maryland says the ticket is hidden in the McDonald's where she works, TC. And when the times of reason, now, I tell you right now, let's go find that McDonald's, let's break into that McDonald's, and let's start searching that McDonald's. Because if she's dumb enough to be telling the truth, the people that are working at that McDonald's are looking for that ticket because with lottery tickets, possession is the law.
They're tearing apart the shake machine. They're looking at. Wouldn't it be terrible to have a grease fire and the place burn?
Oh my God! Yeah, what if the ticket gets burnt up?
That's it.
A little note to self: if I ever win the Mega Millions, don't keep the lottery ticket in a McDonald's.
Bury it on a farm in Grant County.
There you go. Yeah, take it to the gold in Grant County. After hearing TSA officer Letitia, 30 seconds, cursing and allegedly using the N-word in an airport, off-duty pilot Stephen Trevett told the officer to tone down the language. Before the armed pilot could reach her name tag, she hurled a full cup of hot coffee over it.
Wow.
That's hot.
Is he going to get $3 million?
I don't know. We got 30 more seconds left, so anyway, TC, thanks for joining me. And when we come back, we will have more Radio Superbity as we discuss the Reds on opening day, a holiday in Cincinnati on Real Talk 1160. This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, live, remote from Graeter's in Fountain Square, where it's not just ice cream anymore, TC. They got chocolate candy, they got Easter baskets. They got donuts. They got cookies.
Great
They got
display.
frozen drinks.
Now, I don't know, is this stuff that we're supposed to try to sell, or is this stuff that we're allowed to eat?
No, we're allowed to eat. I think the rule is anything they put on our table, we're allowed to eat. So I'm going to start chewing on that chocolate bunny
Oh, I
because if you eat chocolate, you'll never die of cancer.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the new study comes out. You eat chocolate, you will not die of cancer. So I'm going to eat that entire chocolate bunny at the next break.
And it's not the hollow bunny, it's a solid chocolate bunny.
Solid chocolate
Yeah,
bunny. We
this thing's
don't
heavy.
want any hollow bunnies, man.
It's like
Graeters,
4
you
pounds.
get the solid chocolate bunny.
Right.
Now, this has been a major crisis this morning because TC did not have his oatmeal like he normally does, but he did have his banana. Now, are you going to chase that banana with a chocolate bunny or a glazed donut?
I think we're going to have to go glazed today. Yeah.
I've already had 2 donuts. I got to stop eating donuts, TC, because, when I start doing television, I'm going to be too fat.
Yeah, well, it's opening day, it's a holiday. Go
Holiday, you're allowed to eat. It's opening day. I can eat whatever the heck I want.
Go back on your diet tomorrow.
I got a funny legal story in the news to go over. This is part of, now, see, if we were back in the studio, we could play our legal music.
That's right.
But anyway,
Dan's a sharp guy. Dan will find that.
Dan will find that,
music and
but,
he'll play it.
but of course we can't hear. Tennessee criminal court judge Richard Baumgartner was so addicted to prescription drugs, TC, during his final 2 years on the bench.
Yeah.
He was having sex and buying pills during courtroom breaks, at times purchasing from convicts he had previously sentenced.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to take a break.
I need to consult
Now,
with the accused.
they're going to go back and check the video to see how long those breaks were. I mean, was it a short break? Was it a long break?
You can't really hide a lot under those robes,
Right. The latest Pennsylvania poll in politics, Romney, 42%, Santorum, 37%. Santorum on April 27th, TC, is going to lose Connecticut, Delaware, New York, and even Pennsylvania. But he's going to say, well, I'm going to say this thing at halftime.
Why wait?
The word, you know what? He's becoming kind of instead of respected, he's kind of looking like a dork.
Think back to the Bengals in the 90s. They had a lot of halftimes. Didn't make a difference, did it?
You're right. Hey, you know what? We got to talk to Tom Dable. If he was playing under the Shula years at all. I'd like to know, I wonder if there's anybody that has a videotape or an audio recording of a Shula halftime speech.
It's halftime.
Hey, I can picture Dave Shula's halftime speech doing something like this. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
That's it. No, what would Dad say in this situation? Come on, guys.
Come on, guys, play hard. and these big old football players are looking at Dave Shula like, man, go back to daddy.
We want the other Shula coach.
We want the other Shula coach. What do you predict? Back to the Reds. TC, do you have a prediction of today's game, and do you have a prediction for the season?
The Reds are going to win today. The Reds are won wire to wire.
Wire to wire.
Wire to wire.
I say that too. The Marlins lost. They've had to travel. The Marlins are not going to be on today. The Reds are going to take care of business with Johnny Cueto on the mound. So they're going to win today. And I think they're going to go wire to wire as well. Some of these ESPN analysts, I was watching ESPN to kind of prep for the show a little bit. They're picking the Reds to be third in the Central Division. Now, let me see. St. Louis lost Pujols.
Right.
I mean, come on.
It's over.
I mean, the Brewers, they lost Fielder. I mean, come on. And we signed Votto for $225 million.
Cha-ching.
Who knows? In sports, you never know about injuries and whatnot. But at least on paper, we're better than we were last year.
Yeah.
The pitching staff. I mean, Matt Latos coming in, from San Diego. I mean, Aroldis Chapman. I mean, he's kind of established now. By the way, Volquez, who we traded, Volquez is starting opening day for San Diego. You watch, Volquez will probably win 30 games this year.
No, don't say that. As long as we have a healthy pitching staff, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think we're going to do very well. Yahoo! They're laying off. Now, wait a minute, I don't understand this because everybody uses Yahoo.
Right.
Yahoo's hot. They're laying off 2,000 employees as new CEO Scott Thompson sweeps out jobs that don't fit his plans. Now, The economy's improving, TC.
Yeah.
The economy is improving. I'm telling you, it's improving.
A lot of those employees want to fire their boss.
And by the way, the national debt went up a little bit since yesterday.
Just
It's now only $15,629,384,707.
and we pass the savings on to you, the taxpayer.
But the economy's improving. The economy's improving.
We're gonna have to get a crane to raise that debt ceiling again, huh?
You know, I can tell you one thing. Can you imagine the ripple effect today? A couple things about sports in the local economy. Here's why sports matters. First of all, the local sports bars with University of Kentucky going so deep in the playoffs in Northern Kentucky was incredible, the amount of money that the sports bars did well. Ohio State, Xavier, and UC going deep into the tournament helps the sports bars get an incredible economic boom for them. The Reds, opening day.
Yep.
Can
Again.
you imagine? I mean, just the ripple effect, the tourists coming in, because the Reds draw. That's why they take that bus tour. The Reds draw from a large segment
Oh, yeah.
of the. I mean, they go to West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, up in Ohio. People travel down here to watch Reds baseball. I mean, I bet you all these hotels around here are full.
Well, yeah. I wonder what the percentage is of out-of-towners that come for opening day.
I bet you it's pretty good. I mean, fill up a ballpark like that, and then some people come down just for the experience, and they don't necessarily have tickets.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, there's a whole heck of a lot of people calling in sick to watch the game because there's nobody on the interstate.
They all want to see that millionaire play baseball.
Now, I was thinking about this to pay Joey Votto's salary. If they increase the attendance, that gets a good economic boom. I wonder if we could get to 3 million people attending the Reds baseball game. 3 million people.
Standing room only.
Standing room only. They've got some improvements too. They got an area where they got apparently a soft field for kids to play wiffle ball. I think there's an upgrade on the school board again. I mean, they're always thinking of things to improve the experience. They always have great pregame bands. They got after parties after the game. I mean, going to a Reds game is like going to an event. I tell you where the Reds knock out the local bars is the party out there in the outfield. I mean, I remember opening day last year when I went. I thought to myself, in other games that I went to, I mean, it was incredible. The 20-somethings and 30-somethings are packed out there drinking. They're not even watching the game. It's like one big bar.
That's true.
But we don't oppose that. As long as you don't drink and drive, party hardy is what Bulldog Nation says.
Oh, by the way, if you are going to the game, I'm not recommending this, but green water inside the stadium is a little pricey.
It is. So you should pick up your green water from the vendors on the way into the game.
That's what I would do.
Just like you used to buy those peanuts.
Just don't break the seal.
Green water. TC, I want to thank you. I think that was a great deal that you negotiated to get green water inside the stadium. To be the official water of the Cincinnati Reds is a real feather and green water's cap.
And no other Major League Baseball team has an official water.
I know, but we do. And the fact that it's even the wrong color for the team, the fact that it's green water and not red water, and you still pulled off the contract is an incredible accomplishment.
Well, see, we work to do with Joey Votto. Matter of fact, Joey Votto, if he wasn't rich and had to live paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us, could probably buy green water because poor people have the right to be sick too.
Hey, Joey, if you want to spend some of your $20 million, we will sell the rights to green water.
Did we get to work?
I mean, the whole reason why we got into green water is to build it up and then have somebody hostile or friendly take it over, right?
Right, and we get the money.
Today in history, TC, Elvis Presley recorded his debut album, That's All Right.
Really?
Elvis. Of course, we can't play any Elvis songs. Famous birthdays today. Booker T. Washington, who dined with Theodore Roosevelt at the White House.
Did he really?
And TR got a bunch of slack for it. Spencer Tracy, Gregory Peck, and we don't know how old they are because we don't put dead people's ages anymore.
Right.
General Colin Powell is 65 today. And Vince Gill, who I don't really, Vince Gill, 2 sappy songs. He's 55, but I guarantee you there's some ladies out there that are all over that.
By the way, today's the anniversary of Kill a Mockingbird. 50th anniversary.
Classic.
Having a special screening at the White House in the family movie room.
How do you like that? You write one book, and then you say, I'm done.
That's
I'm
it.
done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great book.
incredible.
Look at the.
When we come back, I do have a baseball joke.
Oh, okay. All
Another
right.
baseball joke. We have some history. I'm not going to go over this. 30 seconds. Well, TC, when we come back, we're going to have some baseball humor, and we'll continue to broadcast live here from Graeter's down in Fountain Square, where you can not only get candy and baked goods with your ice cream, you can get anything you want. They sell it. I think they got ham sandwiches behind it. This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160, live from Graeter's Ice Cream / baked goods / candy. We got, and this is funny, we have a green water commercial by Bob from Aurora, the Godfather.
Missed you, Bob. Where you been?
Enjoy opening day with green water, flavored with hot dogs, apple pie, and some Chevy parts.
I like that.
Adds a little gunk. Adds a little gunk. All right, here is my baseball joke of the day, all right? A doctor at an insane asylum decided to take his patients to a baseball game. For weeks in advance, he coached his patients to respond to his commands. When the day of the game arrived, everything seemed to be going well. As the national anthem, I can't read this joke. This is terrible.
We'll make it fun.
All right, as the national anthem started, the doctor yelled, "Up, nuts!" And the patients complied by standing up. After the anthem, he yelled, "Down, nuts!" And they all sat back down in their seats. After a home run was hit, you shouldn't laugh at your own jokes. After a home run was hit, the doctor yelled, "Cheer, nuts!" And they all broke out into applause and cheered. When the umpire made a particularly bad call against the star of the home team, the doctor yelled, "Boo, nuts!" And they all started booing and catcalling, thinking things were going very well. The doctor decided to go get a beer and a hot dog, leaving his assistant in charge. When he returned, there was a riot in progress. Finding his assistant, the doctor said, "What the heck happened?" The assistant replied, "Well, everything was going just fine until a vendor walked by and yelled, 'Peanuts!'"
Smells like asparagus.
I thought that was going to be a bad joke, but that's pretty good.
You guys smell asparagus?
Yeah, asparagus. Oh my gosh.
It's not so bad sitting on the deck, is it?
No, it's not.
Is it raining?
Oh, done like a little baseball humor there for you. Hey, well, we got to bring this up. Today is the deadline. Today is the deadline for Eric Holder in the Justice Department to respond in writing to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals panel led by Judge Jerry Smith about whether or not the president felt like the Supreme Court had the authority to knock down a law for unconstitutional. Now, TC, I was thinking about this. Smith was really clear. He sounded like a school teacher. 3 pages, single space. Now, what if Barack Obama's Justice Department can't come up with enough information to respond in 3, so they double space? Will they be held in contempt, thrown in jail? I told you single space,
Yeah,
and you double space. You know what? If I was them, I would single space.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna lose a letter grade, definitely. You know, you wait till the night before to work on your project.
And you know, I'll tell you right now, I wonder. I mean, I've been paying attention to the news since I was 19. I'm 49, so the last 30 years I've been paying attention to the news. I've never heard of a judge before generally rebuke and demand a presidential administration respond to something like that.
You're right. It's a unique.
I mean, it's very, very odd, you know, to say, does the president understand when his power stops and where it ends? You know, I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Don't they have like some sort of orientation for new presidents?
Right. They ought to. Presidential orientation. Now, yesterday, here at Real Talk 1160 in the morning, we give you not only the news, but we give you useful tips.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, you learned all about asparagus and how it might smell when it excretes from your body. Well, today, we're going to give you some more useless information about coffee. Do you know why coffee tastes bad cold, TC? I mean, this is the morning. People are coming here getting coffee, and they always get coffee hot.
And fresh.
Do you know why it tastes terrible cold?
Some sort of chemical reaction.
According to, now I don't know if we can trust this study because it's from Cuba. But you know what? Cubans know a little bit about coffee. They got coffee beans down there, don't they?
Right.
This guy says that he and his colleagues have found that certain taste receptors are most sensitive to food molecules that are in the 68 to 95 degree Fahrenheit range.
That's right.
In other words, molecules that are at or, Jeremy, do you know what a molecule is? I didn't think so. The taste receptors in question don't always register molecules.
Oh, well.
In short, hot coffee may seem less bitter than room temperature because our bitter taste receptors aren't as... Why did I put that in my blog today?
Because some smart person's listening going, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even know if I remember what a molecule was.
It's a little tiny, it's like a bunch of atoms that just hang out together.
TC,
And they form cliques.
the Reds game is sold out. I wanted to check this before I came down here, and I forgot to do it, so I apologize to all Bulldog Nation and the American Dream. But I got to ask this question. What is the going rate for a scalp ticket today? Have you heard this news yet? I mean, do you know how much just Chuck Holbrook, do you know?
$100?
Leave it to the underboss of the Bulldog Mafia to know what a scalp ticket is. $100. Are we in the scalping business today, Chuck? Are we making some money?
Yes.
Yeah, Bulldog Mafia, we're making some money on scalping tickets.
Street Street.
Yeah, but it's legal. It's legal. It's legal.
Of course.
We're a mafia that doesn't break laws.
That's right. That's right.
It's kind of a buzzkill sometimes, TC, being the godfather of a legal mafia. I mean, there's days when I really wish it was an illegal mafia because you'd have more fun, you know, whack people and stuff. But
Yeah, that'd be great.
did you ask them where they got drill meal? Are you going to get drill meal or they don't have
I'm
oatmeal? The one thing they don't have is oatmeal.
I'm in a donut mood today.
You know what? Isn't it amazing? Here's what I love about donuts. Donuts is a classic food that tastes so good.
Oh yeah.
But then after you eat it, it's like, why in the hell did I eat that donut?
Have you ever had a bad donut though?
No.
You know,
They're not bad. No. And I tell you right now, the donuts down here are fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, here at Graeter's, they are fresh as can be.
And they
All
got
right.
Easter baskets and all kinds of stuff.
They got Easter baskets and everybody else. All right, back to the Reds opening day. You know, everybody talks about the keys to the Reds season and the Reds success. Well, thank you. A nice Bulldog Nation member has just given us some Reds cookies. All right, the bottom line is you can look at the Reds season and you can break it down, so to speak, and think what's important. Well, you know, I think 2 years ago when they won the Central Division and they made the playoffs, a lot of it had to do with a lot of people having career years. And, you know, in sports, you just never know. Well, I think it's the same thing. Do you expect Joey Votto to have the same kind of year? Sure. Brandon Phillips, sure. Zach Kozar, you know, he only played 11 games, but he was hot. Can he do that? That's a big question mark. Scott Rowland, he had surgery. You know, he's had 4 shoulder surgeries since 2005. Can he, you know, have the kind of year that he did when they went to the playoffs? Jay Bruce, you know, can he stay consistent? Drew Stubbs, can he not strike out? Is it too much to ask Drew Stubbs not to strike out?
We'll pay you a few more dollars. If
I
you don't
mean,
strike
my
out.
God, he just strikes out. Okay, and then Ryan Ludwig, you know, we've had a problem with the left fielder. You know, can we get production? I mean, he only batted 237. I mean, come on. And then Devin Mesoraco, the new young catcher, you know, can he step up to the plate? Rotation, Cueto, Matt Latos, Brandon Bronson. You know, Bronson I think is going to come back. He started off bad last year. I really like Bronson. Homer Bailey, Mike Lee. So I think it's like every year. Lots of promise, but you know, everybody's got to step up and have their game because you never know.
And you know, if the team leaders, if the leaders on that team bring their A game, then the rest of the guys will follow.
That's a good point.
You know,
Got to have leadership in line. And also, you know, the bench. You know, one of the things that I think the Reds the last few years has had a strong print. Their bench this year, Chris Heisey, Miguel Cairo, Ryan Hannigan, Juan Francisco, Todd Frazier, Paul Yanish, Wilson Valdez, Willie Harris. I mean, well, actually they traded Juan Francisco. But what a wonderful bench. I mean, they got a strong bench. Also, their bullpen, with the addition of Sean Marshall, improved. So let's hope the Let's hope the Cincinnati Reds do it. When we come back, more Radio Superbity live from Graeter's on Fountain Square. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160.
We got a crowd here now. Look at this crowd.
There's 2,000 people. They're shuffling to the doors.
Wow.
That's not even any stampede, folks. Live at Graeter's on Real Talk 1160. My buddy sidekick is TC here with me. And let me just tell you something, folks. Several years ago, the entire city of Cincinnati was embarrassed. And how were we embarrassed? We were embarrassed that we had a mayor that threw a baseball about 100 feet to the left of the catcher. It was so bad, he went on national television to reenact. And he did reenact. He screwed up on national television again.
Can you imagine being so bad that you get to be on the late night talk shows?
I mean, but that was an incredible pitch, TC. I mean, it was like, what? I mean, what?
And so went the season.
Now, the reason why I bring this up is Bob Castellini, being the smart man that he is, decided who is the real man's man and woman's man to throw out the opening day pitch. And he went to an old Marine. Sheriff Simon Lease is going to throw out the opening day. And you know, he's 78 years old. He gets to the gym every morning at 3:30. I've been following this. He gets to the gym every morning at 3:30 to work out. And he's been practicing. And he's going to throw from the mound, and it's going to get to the catcher. It's not going to be 100 feet to the left.
Not on one bounce.
So when you need something done in life, TC, you ask a Marine to do it.
There you go.
Simon, but I'm looking forward to seeing his pitch. And you know what's funny is, you know, Lisa's kind of like calls it the way it is. He specifically referenced Mayor Mallory's foible pitch, and he goes, I'm not going to embarrass our city.
And after he throws out the first pitch, he's going to throw a few inmates out of the overcrowded prison.
Now, TC, the way I look at this, if we continue down the road that we're on, see, to where we are like radio superbity in the country, maybe one day we'll be honored to throw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
And you can catch it, or I can catch it, and you can throw it.
Either way.
And we can throw it at the same time. One day. See, we got something to look forward to.
There you go.
You know, Reds baseball, I like, you know, everybody, what I'm about ready to say, everybody already knows in this town. But those people that are maybe from out of town or coming through or are not aware of it. But what's special about Cincinnati Reds? And you know what? It makes me mad that we were the first game played every year.
Yeah.
And then they changed that because of money. They had to do an ESPN opening game night, you know, and they took it away from the Reds, which I think is terrible.
Yeah.
But the Cincinnati Reds were the very first professional baseball team in history.
We'll always have that.
And I don't know if you knew this, TC, but if you look at the Reds' history, their game or their team won 100 games in a row.
Yeah.
It was like incredible. They didn't lose.
Stacked.
They didn't lose for over 100 games.
Because they were organized. They knew what they were doing.
The other thing about the Reds' history, some more Reds' history, is the Reds played the very first game under the lights.
That's right.
In Major League Baseball history. The very first game under the lights. And then there's also some more fun Reds history. The Reds were the team that beat the Black Sox in the Throne World Series.
1919.
Yeah, when you played nine, it's kind of like there's an asterisk next to that, you know.
Right.
But we don't care. They still won the World Series.
They won. They probably would have won anyway. No, they won.
But I can tell you right now, I was very blessed. I mean, not 8 years old, about ready to be 49. Is that it was awesome to be a little boy in this town, growing up. 75, 76, it was even before that. 1970, they made it to the World Series. In 72, playing the Oakland A's. I mean, 75, 76 winning. To be a little boy listening on the radio to Joe Nuxall and Marty Brenneman, Joe Nuxall, Al Michaels, to listen to the Reds growing up, to watch them on television. I remember I used to watch the games on Saturday afternoon. Going to the Reds baseball down at Riverfront Stadium. And the names, you know, Rose, Morgan, Perez, Bench, Griffey, Foster, you know, I mean, Concepcion, Geronimo, you know, it was almost like, I mean, it was the perfect childhood.
You're right.
Grow up loving baseball and have those guys on your team I mean, it's almost magical when I think about it.
We were spoiled because
Spoiled.
we were in Cincinnati. In 1970, that's when things really changed for the Reds. Because I think that's when they started at Riverfront Stadium.
Yep.
They had Sparky.
Sparky.
They got Jack Billingham, Cesar Geronimo, Joe Morgan. I mean, they got a lot of the guys that became the Big Red Machine.
I love Lee May. When they traded Lee May, I was like, what? You traded Lee May? And then all of a sudden, well, maybe that was a good trade.
Yeah,
maybe getting Joe Morgan was okay.
yeah.
But, I tell you right now, they got George Foster for a song and a dance too. But I tell you right now, it was just neat. And, there's a lot of talks about like Bengals football, they finally made, and improved the last few years, thank goodness. But you think about these kids that are in their 20s and 30s, they never had a winning football season.
That's right.
And it was a long time till we got back to winning baseball in this town.
And for the younger guys, it's history to hear about when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl or when the Reds had the Big Red Machine.
And all of you Ohio State fans and Xavier fans and Bearcat fans, I apologize for this, but the University of Kentucky Wildcats and John Calipari are leading the way for the Tri-State Championships. They've set the pace now. They're leading by example. So the Cincinnati Reds can follow the UK Wildcats example and win a World Series this year.
That'd be great. That would be excellent. About time.
This is so funny. I get arguments, people all the time, and members of Bulldog Nation in this community. And this is the truth, I honestly do. I root for Ohio State in football and basketball. I root for Xavier. I root for UC. I root for the Hoosiers. I root for Louisville. I root for UK. Now, I admit, UK's my team, but I root for all the teams, and people think that's whack because people are so filled. Yeah, I'm a Louisville fan. And by the way, I have to tease the Louisville Cardinal fans. It just proved that it wasn't Patino, it was UK. Actually, I take that back. Patino did a great job recruiting and restoring the University of Kentucky basketball program. But let me tell you, I got to tease the Cardinal fans. You know what? I'm a blue-collar kind of guy, so I'm a UK kind of guy. All the smart people go to Louisville. All the smart, they're all engineering school and everything else down there.
What do you say? All the idiots go to UK?
No, I'm talking about the Bulldog Nation kind of people go to the UK is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, the Reds are going to win the World Series this year, TC.
Yes, they are.
I can feel it in my bones.
Bring home a ring.
And, you can't, although I love this ownership group. I think I'm also maybe one of the few people that defended Marge Schott. I think, Marge Schott did win a world championship. And Marge Schott loved the fans.
She did. She was an icon, a local icon.
She would say some stupid stuff, but being the Bulldog, I could relate to that a little bit. You know what I mean?
It happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Right?
when I was choosing my Rat Pack, and we had a contest to see who would be the Angie Dickinson of my Rat Pack.
Yeah.
All right? Because, you got to have an Angie Dickinson if you got a Rat Pack. Right? Like right now, we're having open voting, and the women are all fighting over who to be the Angie Dickinson. Molly wants to be the Angie Dickinson. Loretta wants to be the Angie Dickinson. Maria, all these women at the office want to be the Angie Dickinson. They're right back. But when we were doing this, somebody suggested that Marge Schott should be the Angie Dickinson. And although she's deceased, we would have a half-filled glass of scotch and a cigarette leaning up next to it. And when we had our Rat Pack meeting, oh wait a minute, Sammy Davis Jr. is down here at Graeter. Sammy, thanks for stopping by.
How are you? Hello, greeters. I love you people. This is so fun. Is it opening day? Is this cookie for me?
I just want you to know, Sammy Davis.
Is this kosher?
Yes, it is. I want to tell you right now, Sammy Davis, it's great that you decided to stop by opening day. Have you ever been to opening day at Cincinnati
No,
Reds?
I've never been to opening day in Cincinnati. I'm so excited to take you out to the world here.
Did you ever sing the Star Spangled Banner before a game?
Well, I was going to sing it one year, but, I had that eye surgery. Good team did that.
I would figure Frank would shove you aside and get all those gigs. Frank was probably beating you out on those gigs.
Frank, let me tell you something about Frank. A lot of people don't know that he's a doctor.
Well, we don't like him then.
We don't like him.
If he was still around, he would probably have gotten in it. How's Frank doing in heaven, though? Are y'all having a good time in heaven?
We're hanging out at the club. Baby's up there with us.
Hey, do you all get to really do whatever you want in heaven, Sammy?
Pretty much like it was on Earth, yeah. Pretty much the same game.
Let me see. Is there any member of the Rat Pack that's not there yet? I guess Jerry Lee really wasn't. Jerry Lewis wasn't a member of the Rat. Yeah, the whole Rat Pack's there. Aren't they? When we come back, more Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160.
This afternoon, Real Sports with Wild Man, Rick the Brick, Jeff Picoro, and Kevin Cal to be broadcasting live from Moorline Lager House, 3 to 8 today for opening day, right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Sammy. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. Some other sports news. Tiger Woods. This is an incredible week, TC. We had opening day, UK won the national championship. Augusta, the Masters.
Yeah.
Do you think Tiger Woods is going to win?
He's going to have a hole-in-one.
A hole-in-one? Well, I'm going to tell you right now about Tiger Woods. I was a supporter of him even when he had his issues and his problems. I still think it's funny how they all ran away after he started writing checks. But anyway, I think Tiger Woods. In baseball news, there are 14, in light of Joey Votto signing, there are 14 players in Major League Baseball that make $20 million or more.
Wow. Really?
And those of you that were curious about who makes what on the Cincinnati Reds, Brandon Phillips only makes $12 million a year. I mean, I think he needs a pay raise, DC. I mean, he's only making $12 million. Barack Obama looks at that and he says, man, if I taxed him. Bronson makes only $8 million.
$8 million.
They ought to give him a raise.
Yeah.
Scott Rowland only makes $8 million. Come on, give him a raise. Ryan Madsen, and he's not even going to be able to play.
Right.
Only makes $5.8 million.
Well, for guys not playing.
Johnny Cueto 5.4, Jay Bruce 5, Aroldis Chapman 4.8, Sean Marshall 2.7, Homer Bailey 2.4, Nick Massett 2.4, Ryan Ludwig 2, Bill Bray 1.4, Ryan Hannigan 1.3, Miguel Cairo, he is the $1 million even guy.
Okay.
Now the lowest, Jordan Smith, only makes $480,000.
That's it?
That's all he makes, the poor guy.
Supposed to live.
Chris Heisey only makes $495,000. I mean, these guys are going to go broke, man. They need to open up those wallets.
Is Votto is making what, $2.25 an hour?
Now, in addition to the Masters and beginning of baseball, it's also Easter weekend.
That's right.
Do you have your Easter baskets ready?
No, I do not. I have not put the Easter baskets together yet.
You know, usually on Saturday night before Easter at about 11 p.m., I'm going to Kroger's and buying the leftovers to get the Easter baskets ready. Not this year.
No.
I have been ready for Easter, my wife and I, for 2 weeks.
Have you really?
We've got all the Easter candy. We've got all the Easter baskets. We bought it all at Graeter's.
Now, when you say we, you really mean she?
No, we went to Walgreens one night and we bought it all. And then we went to Graeter's and got what we didn't have.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyway, bottom line is we are ready for Easter. But there's a tradition in our family which I have to write poems to help we hide the baskets, then I write a poem. And one year I didn't do it, and they got mad. I'm like, I didn't think you all wanted it. You didn't go look around for your Easter basket. It's right there. They got mad that I didn't write poems for Easter baskets.
Well, you gotta hide this stuff.
So I've decided this year I'm going to make up Easter baskets for everybody at the radio station and write poems and hide them.
You're gonna use real eggs?
Real eggs.
Because if we don't find those all
But
within 6 months or so.
But what a weekend. Now, I also have got to give Oracle status today to not only the Cincinnati Reds, but I got to give it to my brother Seth. My brother Seth, and you've heard me talk about Seth, my brother's got cerebral palsy, 47 years old, is a longtime participant in Special Olympics in Northern Kentucky. He won a special award at the annual banquet March 23rd. It's called the Steve McBee Award. It's named after Steve McBee. And I always like to use Seth as an example for our country. You know, we all know that in the United States of America, half the people are riding in the wagon TC and half the people are pulling the wagon. And the wagon's getting a little heavy.
Yeah, it is.
The wagon's getting a little heavy to pull. You know what I'm saying? And those people that aren't pulling the wagon, I like to mock them with my brother Seth. My brother Seth has cerebral palsy. And he gets up 365 days of the year at 6 a.m. without an alarm clock, gets on a golf cart, goes over to the horse barn, feeds and waters all the horses before the help gets there to turn out the horses. And then he cleans up and sweeps the horse barns after the stalls are cleaned up. And he's been doing this forever. And I think to myself, if my brother who has cerebral palsy can work,
Right.
Can everybody work?
I don't see why not.
You can do
At least
something.
try.
You can do something.
Yeah.
That's just mine. But anyways, I gotta give Seth Oracle status for winning that award. And if I don't, my sister should probably be mad at me.
Congratulations to Seth.
So I'm still waiting. He better not let me down. I know he's listening. Tom Dingle has got 2 tickets in the Reds game.
Really?
That he promised to drop off here at Graeter's.
It's coming by.
And,
Good.
and I've got to figure out what I want to do with these 2 tickets. Like, should I go myself and take my wife or a date? That's a joke. Or should I take a Chuck? Or should I give them to somebody? Like, give them to 2 fans? Or should I raffle them off to the highest bidder and say, thanks, Dave, for making me some money? I mean, should I give them to 2 clients, 2 friends? Should I give them to you? What should I do with these 2 tickets?
Give them to her. That's tough because whenever there's a big event and you're limited on the number of tickets, you're always stuck with, well, who should I ask to go? If I don't ask this person, he'll get mad. If I don't say, so that's a toss-up.
I think I'm just going to use them myself.
Use both of them.
I think I'm going to go to the Reds game.
I think you should.
In fact, you give it to me, so it would probably be wrong if I didn't.
Exactly.
Now, let me see. I got 2 tickets, so I think I'll ask Whiskey. And I think Whiskey will go with me. And Whiskey's if we got Whiskey. By the way, again, I want to remind everybody, the Reds opening day parade is at 1 o'clock. It starts at Philly Market and comes all the way down here past Fountain Square. And we will, Real Talk 1160 is going to be represented by yours truly and TC in the truck. And I don't know if anybody else is going to be there. But the truck can hold plenty.
Yeah.
It's an F-150 truck. It can hold as many people as you want to put in there. And then we were going to throw out candy, but I found that was a rule that you can't throw out candy, so we're not going to throw out candy.
But we can't throw bottles of green water.
We're going to throw bottles of green water in the crowd. I wanted to throw money, but you're not allowed to throw money. Just because it's going to help me with clients, kind of like subtle, like, hey, I need a lawyer. Wasn't that the guy that threw us money on the parade route? We ought to call that guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are going to be in the parade, and if you come down, the weather's going to be awesome. It's going to be a nice, cool spring day, but it's going to be a blast, and I look forward to practicing my pageant wave as we wave to everybody along the route. And you know what? I'm not going to walk that parade route anymore. I'm going to ride in the truck. I'm going to ride in the
Brought you a
truck.
chair to put in the back of your truck.
Well, see, next year we might be able to just take the streetcar and just ride the streetcar down.
Absolutely. And by the way, speaking of the streetcar, if you all would like to see the streetcar, they parked the streetcar right outside of Graeter's this morning to mock us. Because they know that we have been dogging the street. My God, that guy looks like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman just walked by us. Look at that guy. Morgan! Go get his autograph. Morgan Freeman is at Fountain Square, folks. Man, that guy looked like Morgan Freeman.
Hey, he did.
But anyway, we mocked the streetcar so bad that they parked it right outside the window here to mock us.
I wonder if they left the keys in.
And I wonder, you know what, that'd be cool. Hey, I got an idea. Let's drag the streetcar behind the F-150 truck during the parade route.
There you
Let's
go.
hook it up to a chain and just drag the streetcar all the way through the parade route.
Sparks flying.
Sparks flying and everything else. Wheels locked up. Put a sign on it saying this is the streetcar getting dragged by Bulldog Nation. And it probably is going to have to be dragged through. They'll probably have to have tractor dragging it through.
Yeah, there you go.
Did they work out the deal with Duke yet? Remember the moving the utility lines?
No, that's right. They have an issue with that.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever worked out the deal.
I don't think Duke is budged at all.
I don't think Duke is going to budge. I've dealt with Duke. They don't budge.
Now, there's another mafia.
No, the utility mafia. This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. When we come back, we will have more Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160 with the Huckabee Report coming up. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. And we have some special guests down here. People have shown up. Renee from Bulldog Nation picked up her t-shirt. Hey, we got to get Allison Lovato, who's all the way from South Carolina. She drove all the way from South Carolina to be here with us.
Allison Votto?
Lovato.
Oh.
She's the French relative of Joey Votto.
Oh, okay.
She's from the French side of the Votto family. Anyway, she's here today. We're having fun down here at Graeter. Morgan Freeman walked by. At least the guy looked like Morgan Freeman. But anyway, joining me now is the main man. You know, it's not Jeff Piccaro. I mean, we like Jeff Piccaro, but Jeff Piccaro works for this guy from Fox Sports Ohio, Tom Dingle. Welcome, buddy.
Morning, Eric.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness, Tom. I forgot. Tom, I forgot. If those people
Be
did
nice
not
to
know,
me. Be nice.
Tom Dingle, the former Cincinnati Bengal football player, my buddy, I forgot that he was a Kansas.
It's been a rough couple of days, Eric. Although it really hasn't been. I mean, the Jayhawks were surprised.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you weren't expecting a national championship out of this
No,
team.
I've told people this is probably Kansas's worst team in 10 years, and they made it to a Final Four. But you know, I don't think there was any way they were ever going to match up against all the the solid players that UK has. But
NBA player,
but I swear, they took every team almost what
I
they did with UK.
thought they were going to do it again.
I
I was
was
going to say
I was thinking,
no.
how could they do this to UK? There's no way.
Right.
And
Unfortunately, they didn't turn the ball
fortunately,
over three
yeah.
times. But I'll tell you something about the way I look at Kansas. First of all, I like Bill Self. The Kansas team. I kind of look at Kansas as a brother in arms along with UK and Louisville against Duke and North Carolina. See,
Against Tobacco Road.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
In other words, I could live with Kansas winning the national championship. I would be okay. But as long as it's not Duke, because Jim Nance and of course Billy Packer's no longer involved. It's all North Carolina. All Duke, North Carolina. Two North Carolina.
Could you really have lived with Ohio State winning the national championship?
I actually could have.
In basketball, though?
Yeah.
I mean, football, you expect it, but that would have hurt a little bit. But no, it was a good run for my Jayhawks. They played every game. They were down double digits, and they'd come back and win in the closing minutes. It was surprising, but hopefully things will get better. Although they'll probably win the championship in probably 4 or 5 months when UK goes on probation or something.
Calipari says he's chasing UCLA.
Well,
he's not going to go anywhere. He's just going to recruit some
He
more
should.
NBA players.
He'll be fine where he's at, and as long as the rules stay the same. But I'll say one thing. I think, and this isn't because I'm a UK hater. I'll come out and say it.
That's all right.
Always have it. People that know me know that I don't hate, but I just have a strong dislike. But it's one of those things where I believe the NCAA is going to have to change their system a little bit, because how can a kid go to school for just basically 6 months? All you have to do is stay eligible. Then the second semester, you don't care about going to class.
It's so stupid.
Because you're done.
It's so stupid. But Calipari, you know what? Calipari's embraced it.
Oh,
He goes, that's the
absolutely.
rule. In fact,
And other coaches have. I mean, Bill Self has.
but you got to ask yourself this question. If you're a young All-American, McDonald's All-American high school player, why would you not want to go play for Calipari? I think
the way he handles players.
Because the players' families, he even said the right thing. He goes, I don't care about national championship. I just want these players to fulfill their dreams. And that's music to the ears of the parents, baby.
That is, and to me, it's short-term thinking. But then again, I mean,
It's exciting. I mean, I'm a
It's
UK
exciting.
hater. As a UK fan, it's been great. We had DeMarcus
I'm a
Cousins
UK
and Wall.
strong
and then we had
disliker.
Brandon Knight, and now we got another great team. And next year, there'll be another good group.
And that's what's sad is
It's
they beat by
fine.
freshman every year.
I know.
But I think it takes away from there's been great tradition in UK basketball
I agree
where
with
you
you.
watch players develop over the course of 4 years. In Kansas, you watch people come in. Sometimes you might watch a walk-on come on and develop into a potential All-American.
Let's talk Cincinnati Reds baseball. Fox Sports of Ohio covers the Reds games. How many Reds games this year does Fox Sports of Ohio cover?
Out of the 162-game season, we do 145.
That is awesome.
Everybody
Everybody enjoys watching the Reds on television.
The broadcast team is solid. Chris Welsh, Jeff McCorrell, Jeff Brantley, Jim Day, Tom Brenneman is
Tom Brenneman, he's not bad. By the way, I think Tom Brenneman is one of the best, if not the best, national broadcaster. It's awesome that he's getting to do the NCAA championship game and doing more. Tom Brenneman's a great announcer.
Well, it's
in any sport.
Absolutely. That's the sign of an excellent broadcaster, is one that can do it all. And of course, he does football. He does the Cotton Bowl every year for Fox Sports. So, yeah, I mean, the Reds, then you throw in Marty Brenneman on Reds Radio. I think you've got a pretty solid broadcast team throughout also. Reds fans are pretty fortunate to not only see the games on Fox Sports, but also listen to them. It's good to be a Reds fan, although I wish the sun would come out today.
Tom, you're an insider in this town. I mean, you're a former Bengal football player, Fox Sports you work for. What is the outlook? What's the inside perspective in the Reds' upcoming season? What are the people within the organization saying? The people that you hang out with? What's the prospect for the Cincinnati Reds this year?
Well, it all looked good early.
On paper.
Well, on paper, they made excellent off-season moves. I think Reds fans, first and foremost, you like to see management, upper management, going out and making moves for players. That means they have a good desire to win. They go out and they get starting pitching. They got bullpen relief. They've got position players to come in and fill in. So they did the right things. Now they just got to keep some people healthy, get him back. They just signed Joey Votto long term. I know Reds fans were always fearful about this is Joey Votto's last year and he's gone. Right. Now you got Jay Bruce signed up long term. You got Votto signed up long term. And that's your core, along with Brandon Phillips. If they can,
and
they can bring him in.
Castellini said in the press conference, hey, this is not going to affect our discussion with
Mr.
Brandon Phillips.
Castellini is a man of his word, and I think
it's not. You know what I love about Castellini and the Williams is they care.
Sure.
They are Cincinnati.
Well, you see it.
They're competitive. I mean, these guys are corporate executives that compete in the real world every day. They are competitive men. They want to win a championship.
Well, and they're not people that have been spoon-fed. I mean,
right.
A guy like Bob Castellini is much like your dad, earned his way all the way up through the ranks. And when you get to that, means you know all the
He's kind of like Cincinnati's grandfather. It was Carl
That
Leonard.
was Carl
Now it's
Leonard. Yeah, that's
Castellini.
true. Well, I wouldn't put him that old, though. I think.
I know.
It's
sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to call you grandpa.
No, he certainly is.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. And he's doing a great job.
Who doesn't like Castellini? It's like, how do you dislike Carl
And
Leonard?
that's funny. You've never heard people over the years say anything bad. I mean, he came forward, put together his investment group.
Unlike the Bulldog, he doesn't have any enemies.
You gotta go through the world and piss some people off every once.
I always joke. It's a rhetorical question I like to ask. Would you rather pick Carl Leonard or Pete Rose? I would always pick Pete Rose. I think Pete Rose's life has been a little more wild and crazy. But a lot of people pick Leonard. Rose or Leonard?
I think Rose.
Me too.
A lot of women. A lot of good times, man.
Carl,
Pete's alive. Thank you, TC.
With Carl Leonard, he was faithful.
But Carl, Mr. Leonard, he was one of those guys. You just look at him. Another guy started out delivering milk with a milk cart, and then developed it into United Dairy Farms and all this.
One of the highlights of my life is when I ran for the political office for one time. He sent me a check with a nice little note, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "This is cool."
What? This is when you were on the Democratic Party saying,
No, I was
going to say, get elected and stay in
I think I did with Joe Deters. Joe Deters came to a fundraiser I had, and Carl Leonard was kind of Joe's godfather. You know what I mean? There's Patty Euclid, the sales gal. But anyway, so
by the way, I didn't even know you guys were here. This is my usual feeding time. We're just right across the street, basically.
We're at 19 now, but not only we'll talk 1160, but I moved my law. We ought to eat on the square every once in a while, baby. We ought to come down to the square to eat lunch on those sunny spring days, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and there's some sightseeing.
To eat lunch.
But they have the big screen down here. There'll be a lot of people watching the game today.
That big screen. Hey, to Jamie Short, our station manager's here. But that screen is a big, big screen.
They crank up the sound. I mean, it's a good party. I've been down here before when the Reds were in the playoffs 2 years ago watching a playoff. It was a lot of fun.
And you know what? One of the things about going on today, I drove in. I know you two in the morning. There was nobody on Interstate 75. Nobody's coming to work.
I thought, oh my God, am I late?
Look at these sidewalks. These sidewalks at this time of day at 8:45. there's usually a lot more people out and about.
But here's the good news about being here today. Have you tried the new cake batter brownie ice cream?
Oh,
Graeter?
God, no. I just had
I'm a cake batter
I just had a
guy.
custard donut and a glazed donut. Is it good? Well, how about Graeter's? Graeter's, they don't have ice cream. It's donuts, it's cookies, it's candy, it's ham sandwiches. I mean, you get anything here except oatmeal. TC couldn't get his oatmeal today.
Gotta keep it regular.
Look at TC over there talking today.
So are you going today?
Please?
Going today?
I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna go today.
I didn't know
I
if
was
you had
thinking
it.
about raffling off for tickets. No, I'm gonna go. I'm teasing.
It's eventually.
No, I'm gonna go.
The rent will freak out if you start selling that.
I'm actually gonna go. Is it time? Gotta wrap up?
I gotta get to work.
When we come back, more Radio Superbity. Thank you, Tom Dinkle, on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. Go ahead, TC. You got an announcement.
Just going to remind everybody, if you can't be near the radio, make sure you get the Radio Loyalty app. You can download it free.
Yeah.
Listen to it on your Droid, your iPhone, or your BlackBerry, if anyone still has a BlackBerry. And listen to Real Talk 1160 24 hours a day. And now, back to the Bulldog!
Ladies and gentlemen, American Joe, I want to tell you that you got a BlackBerry, the company's crashing and burning. You might want to go get yourself an iPhone very, very, very soon. And by the way, I got to tell another funny fan. First of all, that was awesome for Tom Dinkle to stop by, part of the Fox Sports Net television group. And how funny is that? A Kansas Jayhawk.
I know. And he still gave you the tickets.
Unbelievable. And of course, we had Allison Lovato, the newest member from Bulldog Nation, who drove all the way from South Carolina to join us here today. J.V. Schloy, our station manager, is here, dressed up in a suit. Do you ever see?
The red dye.
I never wear a suit. Is he ever without a suit?
No, he's always sharp. Always
And
dapper.
Patty Euclid, our sales gal with the boots. And the Cincinnati red skirt. Are you going to be in the parade? You going to ride the truck with us?
I wasn't asked.
You can get in the truck with
We're
us.
asking you now.
Anyway, I got to tell a funny family story here before we wrap this show up. All right, my daughter Erica is in law school, and she's kind of like my junior. Her name's Erica. She's going to law school. My daughter Charlie Ann, who's my middle child, who I love just as much as Erica. I got my daughter. Who do you love more? You love mine. So, but if you remember, everybody remembers Brady Bunch, right?
Yeah.
Remember Jan? Marsha. Well, that's Charlie Ann. Erica. Well, listen to this. I forgot, because I didn't review the blog, the newsletter today, one final review before I came over after I prepared it. I forgot to put in Charlie Ann's birthday today on the blog and newsletter, like I did Erica's. I just got a text message from Charlie Ann. You put Erica's birthday in the blog and newsletter, but not mine.
That's because
I'm like, I announced your birthday on the radio.
Because we have that special little surprise for her. Remember, where everyone at Graeter's is going to sing happy birthday?
Charlie Ann, would you like to go to the Reds opening day game with me? I got 2 tickets.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
How you like that? Now, this is from my daughter, who last night, my wife fixed this big meal. Everybody came over, fixed her a cake. We gave her a card with cash in the card. But because I didn't mention her name on the blog and newsletter, happy birthday, Charlie Ann. Oh, by the way, we found out yesterday, more big news. We found out yesterday that her second child is going to be another little girl. So Riley's going to have a little sister. And ladies and gentlemen of Bulldog Nation, guess what the little girl's name's going to be?
Dora.
Reagan.
All right, I can go ahead.
My granddaughter's going to be called Reagan.
Riley and Reagan.
Not Obama. Reagan. Well, as we wrap up this show today, I want to thank Graeters again for letting us come down here. It's been fun. I was kind of bummed at first, but remotes are always, it's just not the same as being in the comfort of the studio. You know what I mean, TC?
Well, that's true.
I like having you behind the glass instead of sitting next to me.
I like having you right down here. That was kind of nice.
I want to thank everybody for coming down, though. My videographer, Molly, Brad, Chuck, everybody that came in there. This guy next to me named Jeremy, he's done a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Daniel back at the studio. But TC, it's opening day in Cincinnati. The sidewalks around here are empty.
I know.
I mean,
getting ready.
people are either A, not coming to work, they're going to the game, or they're watching on television. There we go. We got some more Reds fans
We
there.
have 2 vehicles in the parade. We've got the Bulldog vehicle, Bulldog Nation vehicle, and we've got a big red truck.
Awesome.
station logo on it.
Awesome.
Thanks to our friends at Rob Key for that.
All right, great. So are we back to back, aren't we? We're together, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, very good. By the way, a couple Reds fans just walked by and gave a thumbs up. That makes me feel good, TC, because if they walked by and gave us the middle one, it'd be like, it would ruin my day. So it's nice that we got some thumbs up from some people around here. And we have given away a lot of Bulldogs Mafia t-shirts for those that came down, the long sleeve black tee. It's a pretty doggone good shirt.
Yeah.
By the way, the Reds are playing, I think the game's at 4:15. It's on Fox Sports Net. You can't listen to it on the radio. There's no radio broadcast of the Reds game. That's Fox Sports Net.
The only way to get it.
And to go to the game, you can go to the game, and the tickets are going to have to scalp because it's sold out. Johnny Cueto is pitching for the Reds, and the Marlins have got to be tired. They played last night in Florida, then they got to fly up here. I mean, it's a great. Oh, by the way, remember, you know how this happened? Remember, they moved opening day because it was on Good Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they going to serve fish tomorrow at the ballpark? Do they have fish at the Reds game?
Get your fish
We'll see how good the Catholics are in Cincinnati if they're going to eat fish tomorrow at the ball game. A fish hot dog. Oh, God, that sounds disgusting. You know, what if they made hot dogs out of fish? All the fish extra parts, you know, scales and everything, throw it on there. There's a fish hot dog. That sounds disgusting. I just disgusted myself.
We wouldn't have anything to
I
do
gotta,
with green water.
I gotta chase that comment down with a Graeter's chocolate bar or mint chocolate chip ice cream or something. Well, the Reds, they're gonna win today. You say wire to wire.
Wire to wire this year. First place all the way.
You know, I think my new favorite Reds player is going to be Jack Kozar. I like the name. Kozar. And he seems like a scrappy little shortstop. You know, the shortstop growing in Little League is always the best player on the team. It's the guy that plays shortstop. You know what position I played softball?
Was it a shortstop?
That was a catcher.
You got to be pretty good to pitch.
Joe Thaman was our shortstop. He was good. He had a cannon for an arm.
Did he?
Cannon for an arm. But I was a pitcher, but I pitched under my leg. Did you pitch under my leg?
Is that legal?
Did you play Little League baseball? I never did play Little League baseball.
I did. Baseball's a big thing with me.
I can tell you some funny story. I played sports in Latin school. My senior year, we only won 2 games in 3 sports. We lost every soccer game but tied 1. We lost every basketball game but 2. And we lost every baseball game. Now, this is how bad our baseball team was. I was the shortstop and the leadoff hitter. I would either strike out or walk. I was really short, so I'd stand up there, and I'll tell you right now, I could hit a fastball.
Yeah.
They threw that curveball, I'd be like, what?
What was that?
How do major leaguers hit curveballs, TC?
You got to look at the way the ball spins.
In fact, I know for a fact there's a lot of people, the reason why they're not major leaguers is they couldn't hit the curveball.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they do. These pitchers can make that ball go, shoot, and it's like, how are you supposed to hit that? I mean, I tell you right now, it's incredible. But I would walk or strike out. Because I was so short. I had like a strike zone about 6 inches. I was a strike zone about 6 inches, TC. But you played baseball? Give me a highlight of your career.
Let's see. Once late in the game, I had to go in and pitch because we ran out of pitches. Literally, we ran out of pitches. And I actually won the game.
Good job. You didn't do a mauer. You didn't throw the ball 10 feet to the left.
No, I threw the ball over the plate, actually.
Good for you.
Yeah. So,
You know, my son Parker, who's about 6 foot, is a left-hander. And he quit baseball. He got bored with it. And to this day, I regret not making him become a left-handed pitcher. You know what? You can suck. And if you're a left-handed pitcher, you're a major leaguer.
yeah.
I mean, they're so hard up for left-handed pitchers.
Too many right-handed batters.
Shortstop.
Shortstop and third.
Yeah, Chuck Holbrook's bragging he's playing shortstop. I should have never. You know, the second best player on the team always played shortstop. And Dave, Chuck was a little jock. Drove a Trans Am. Can you imagine being a teenager driving a Trans Am? Chuck did.
Nice.
He's the kind of guy everybody hated, you know. How did he get a Trans Am? He's only 16, man. I drove a 1972 Nova that Mrs. Cox, a teacher at Twin Opal, sold to me for $1,000. I put some fancy hubcaps and a digital 8-track tape and thought I was cool.
8 tracks.
An 8-track.
We
Little
got
digital
Laura Ingram coming
8-track,
up here in
man.
a few minutes. We've got less than a minute here.
That's for a minute?
Reminder, Laura Ingram coming up after 9 o'clock after the AP News.
Radio addiction to follow your radio supermarket. Any final comments, TC?
I just want to thank Abner Greenwater for coming up with the game of baseball back in 1837.
Remember, get your green water before you get to the Red Stadium today. It's cheaper outside the stadium than in the stadium. And we want to thank the Cincinnati Reds for letting us be the official water of the Cincinnati Reds, green water. You will see the green water on the bench. This is a Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Today will be the Cincinnati Reds Day.
Yeah.
On Real Talk, 1160.